Hey Pisces, and welcome to your September 2018 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading for your month ahead. And some really strong, impactful energy coming in for you. It's pretty heavy. There's a lot of strong, emotional, deeply integral introspective energy coming in for you Pisces, along with a strong transformative twist as well, as I think that you are experiencing a bit of a twist coming into this month, or a bit of an unexpected outcome of a long-running situation that I do feel starts to come to a close here. I definitely think that September serves as a closing month for Pisces, where you do have to make a choice or a decision, as most of the other signs this month. If you've seen any of the other signs, for pretty much everyone, there is a decision or a choice to be made in September, relating to the strategy and path of your life. And I think that for Pisces, that has changed up quite suddenly or quite unexpectedly. There's a sense of actually confidently coming into a new idea or a new plan or a new progression and narrative for your path, as I feel just such a wonderful shift happening within you that actually shows you expressing yourself in a much more positive and endearing way than you have in a long time. You do have some of the cards that have been present throughout a lot of the readings this month. You have that Seven of Cups, you have Queen of Wands, and this is another kind of typical energy coming up this month, as it seems that everyone is really facing what has and has not been real for them. Looking at motivations, looking at, why am I choosing to make the choices that I'm making now? What is motivating me, and what lies on the other side of that motivation? Is the root of my motivation something that actually satisfies me or satiates me, or is there something perhaps illusionary about my motivation? It's going to be really empowering for Pisces to really note down on paper or come to a firm understanding of what your purpose and motivation is and why it's so. In fact, more important to know why you're wanting to do what you're doing versus what it actually is. Why are you at where you are, Pisces? What has led you to be here? Are you here because you lost something or lost someone and are now picking up the pieces? Are you here because it's something that you've been working on for a really long time, or have things suddenly changed? And why have these things happened? It's going to be so important to understand the thing or the variable which put you where you are, so that you can now more powerfully change your circumstance, because your central theme is death reversed, that really powerful major arcana energy, which says to me that there's a transformation or a change that has not been allowed in thoroughly. So there's been a blockage. There's been I need stillness. I need a certain thing right now, even though it's not coming very naturally. I have to have it. What have you had to have, Pisces, that hasn't come naturally? There's a really strong suggestion energetically, I feel, to think about what comes naturally, to think about what possibilities have actually been on the horizon that aren't so forced. Not having to force yourself, not having to put yourself into a situation which is so structured that you can't really be flexible within it. Pisces always has to be flexible. Pisces always has to have some amount of autonomy within a situation and fluidity. So I do sense you in September to be re-seeking a fluidity or an autonomy within a situation. Some of you could even be like starting your own business, or really changing up the formula of control in your life and who controls you, who you answer to, who you're answering to. Do be aware of who you're answering to this month. It does feel like there's a control dynamic, or there's an instability in who you're answering to. So for some of you, it's not going to be so obvious. For some of you, you might actually unknowingly be answering to, like, as a hypothetical example, the other woman or the person that your spouse cheated on, by like prioritizing them so much, or thinking so much about how to exclude them out of your life, or by focusing your pain on the catalyst of your pain, you're like answering to that antagonist within your life. So definitely think about like what you want to answer to, who you want to prioritize, and what changes you want to make based on your own autonomy. Make sure that you're doing things for yourself and not to prove things to other people. For example, if you have someone come back from your past or something, or an ex coming back in, how can you answer to yourself versus answering to what they need? It doesn't feel bad for Pisces to truly be doing what feels right to you, because it takes you where you need to go. It's and this is an interesting karmic event that I feel happening for you that I've actually never really felt before, where I sense that even if what you're feeling the urge to do, or even if what feels right for you is actually not the right thing, it's important that you do it because it puts you where you need to be. That sounds a bit stark, but really follow through on your gut instincts and intuitions, as long as it's not harming, as long as it's not harming yourself or others. Follow through on the choices you feel you need to take, and it's going to put you where you need to be. Because what I see happening for Pisces, if you're really trying to martyr yourself or do what other people want, like answering to other people, sacrificing yourself to see that other people get what they need, it's like this builds within you and it causes just a worse explosion in the future for everyone. So you might as well do it now. If you've needed to leave people, you might as well do it now. If you've needed to, I'm hearing like darker things for different Pisces. Like if you've needed to leave the relationship that's actually been quite stable because stability seems boring, or if you need to walk away from the family expectations. It's a hard territory. It's a hard territory, but it becomes worse and more concentrated in the future if you're not following through on what you need now. And I would encourage you to think about if it's possible to want what's best for those who you have made concessions for. So when it comes to family, when it comes to people who've been loyal to you, is it really hard to perhaps want to be loyal back? Is it possible for you Pisces to want to be loyal? I think in that case, then you can really find yourself in a great situation by wanting to be loyal to others. But if there's a strong desire to sabotage others, or a strong desire to be free of that expectation, because the way that this is coming out in my articulation is almost as if I'm encouraging Pisces to betray others, when that's not at all what I'm saying. Sometimes, and this is an odd angle of this that I've never really seen before, but I'm really enlightened by it, so thank you for offering this to me, Pisces, in your energy spectrums. Sometimes people who are betrayed, sometimes, not all the time, we're asking entirely too much of someone else. And then when that person finally sort of hits rock bottom, or finally gets so overtaken by the energy that they like explode, like it's like gas and fire or something, it's like the other person only feels betrayed, and it's hard to see how they may have contributed to the other person not being able to sustain them. It's important for Pisces this month, if you're on the end of the betrayer, like if you've been labeled the betrayer, or you've been labeled the person who walks away, how can you leave a note? How can you help others to understand that if I keep sustaining what you need from me, then it is going to cause you something so much worse in the long run? If there were a way to word that, or a way to articulate that, or to say that with love, or to connect that to the other people involved, I feel you to do something really incredible and important for them. Okay, this is an odd message, and it's an odd message. It's something that I didn't expect to come out for you all. And it's not going to resonate for everyone. Not all Pisces are in that situation, but surprisingly, I'm feeling a strong, like 35%, which is a big percentage when you're talking like very karmically complex issues such as this. So a good handful of Pisces are going through something relating to betrayal, and being on the side of it that's not usual, because Pisces oftentimes is a victim energy, or is an energy that is betrayed by others. But interestingly enough, I see Pisces to almost be labeled that by others now, like being accused of betraying, or doing something mean. And that's really hard for Pisces, because Pisces is not really like a cardinal, oppositional, adversarial energy. So if you get labeled the victimizer, or the betrayer, or the person responsible for causing problems in others' lives, it's really hard on you. Okay, and I would urge all Pisces to think about any time that they have been labeled this type of person or this type of entity in their lives. Has it happened for you? Has it never happened for you? There's something about that energy coming back on, even if it was like a few years ago or a long time ago. You have to be able to face that now, and you have to be able to understand and see how perhaps maybe you help someone by giving them that situation. And it's not to say Pisces are always perfect, or Pisces is always, never a betrayer or victimizer in a karmically unhealthy sense. I mean, it does happen, everybody's human, but there's a need to see like how what was once considered not nice or not good by you was actually what needed to happen. And also a time actually for an apology, whether it be from someone else to you or to you or from you to someone else. It would be, if there's something that any Pisces has needed to apologize for, now is an okay time. As well as a good time to accept the apologies of others if people come to you. I don't feel like Pisces looks very good by being unwilling to establish a closure or unwilling to accept an apology. It feels like it comes off arrogantly, and it's not natural to Pisces to come off arrogantly. So definitely be accepting of other people's apologies, even if you do have to sort of make it clear that they don't need to be in your life, if they don't. Not actually a terrible time, and this is hard territory again because it's going to depend so much on each personal circumstance. Not a terrible time to let someone from the past back in for a small percentage of you, but you're going to know. You're going to have like this overwhelming sense of, yes, this is right for me now. It's not going to be right for some of you, and you're going to know that too. Just remember, if you're having to kind of weigh it back and forth in your mind, should I let that person back into my life? The answer is a no. But if there's just this overwhelming sense of, yeah, I've got to rid a karmic system with them, and that's the other thing. It's not a permanent re-entry back into the life. It's maybe a 3-week thing or a 3-month thing that does not last forever. But there's a karmic cycle that has to be returned through that, so that can be possible for some of you. But yeah, I've kind of talked a lot, Pisces. I'm going to go ahead and get into the week to week of this reading, and we'll see more clearly some other things that are coming up. In the first week of September, you have Page of Cups rooted down by Page of Pentacles. So this is all about other people again. And I feel this to be people asking something from you, people to be needing something from you, page energy, almost like children. For some of you, it's really working with your children or really having to support your children in some way. But I do feel for a lot of you, it's also not your children and people who just rely on you to, for some people it's emotionally support, but also for some people, they may be asking for loans or monetary support or, asking for food or something. I do sense a strong tangible need of others to you. And it's not a bad time to give, if I'm honest. If you're abundant, those are upright, so I don't feel it to necessarily be too usury. I don't sense that people are really using you too much, and I do feel that you benefit karmically from supporting. So if people ask you and it's within your means, I think that it's okay, but not past the first week of September. You wouldn't really want to make it a habit or a cycle. It's a one-time thing that works out. In the second week, you have Seven of Cups rooted down by Queen of Wands, so you are see, that's where things start to get pretty heavy, and that's where some of these stronger karmic cycles really begin, is in that second week. So enjoy the first week, enjoy some communion or give and take compromise energy in the first week, and then be ready in the second week of September to see it, to have the click. There's a click of your direction, your purpose, your motivation, as I was speaking about earlier. That shows itself to be right or wrong here. So for those of you who it shows to be right, congratulations. You're going to have a lot of opportunities to work with purpose, career, devotion, such things as that power. It's a very powerful energy coming in, as I feel Pisces to become very magnetic and very attractive with Queen of Wands rooting that down. It's sort of that ethereal Seven of Cups, Neptunian energy, connected to a very vibrant self-expression. So how can you redo your aesthetic? How can you express what is happening in your life to those around you? It feels really good to do that, but to also understand what isn't real in your life. What is not real, Pisces? What is not connecting in a way that you need? Seven of Cups, what false horizons have been built? What has really sucked out the light within you? It might be time to take that back or to recharge it. Week number 3, you have the Seven of Wands rooted down by Eight of Cups. Some good chronological order there. Naturally moving into an ending cycle. You might see a lot of opposition where you're at. You might see a lot of, moving through jello. That's what I'm feeling. You're moving through jello in the current direction that you have. So I see you turning your back and going the other direction. What do you need to walk away from in the third week? This could be that person we were talking about. This could be the career. This could be... for some of you, even the horizon that you'd built before. I think that all Pisces can see something in the third week of September. Just be clear, be looking around, what's here that you've known that you've needed to walk away from for a long time. Just by keeping that clarity and that in the back of your head, you should really have a lot of understanding on how to move forward or backward, whichever it ends up being. Week number 4 of the star reversed, rooted down by King of Wands reversed. So vulnerability. You're feeling something has reemerged, something has recatalyzed in your life, and you might feel like you're in a vulnerable position again, or even like vulnerable to a fault. The star reversed, it's like maybe you were vulnerable with someone or really gave a lot of yourself to someone and it's not really returned the favor that you expected. I wouldn't expect in like August leading up to September or moving through September to really give vulnerability away too haphazardly. It's a good time to be a bit more conservative with your energy. So, maybe holding back a little bit, maybe really vetting people and making sure that they're deserving of your depth, because you could be a bit out of your depth in the 4th week. I've got to be honest. You could be pursuing someone who's not in your nature. It's like a King of Wands energy, very fiery, like older masculine energy, which is like the antithesis of Pisces energy, and opposites do attract, but it feels like we're out of our depth with that one. So watch out for dangerous attractions or anything which feels extremely volatile then, because there could be a tendency to have like a romance emerge or a new fling or even a new friendship. For some of you, it's just platonic. For some of you, where someone starts to walk away from you and they've made it clear that they're quite done, they're not really interested anymore. And it's like in a desperate attempt to get them back, you start throwing your vulnerability and everything that you have out at them, and it just sort of goes into the void, never to return again. So watch out for things like that. Try to not be throwing all of your life force out into something, because it's quite easy, as Pisces is very dualistic. You get like a circle of life thing going on, like things that you throw out kind of come back in. I feel that to be defied during this period of time, during the entire month of September, actually. I feel for give and take and compromising energies to be defied, and I feel that you have to be careful and conservative with your life force energy, because what you throw out doesn't come back here. Really clarify that, Pisces. Really remember that. I feel like this is probably the most felt reading by me for this month of September is your reading, which is not unusual, Pisces, but it hasn't happened in a while where your energy has really like hit me as I had to articulate something important. And this feels like maybe one of the most important things of your entire year's energy is to remember that during this period of time, and maybe even through October, I'm thinking that this could be a possibility as well. Important to remember that what you throw out does not come back here. So you choose to break up with someone, they don't come back here. You choose to leave a house behind or leave a property behind, it doesn't come back. There's a sense of like, going through the ocean, like as a Pisces, as if you're swimming or something. It's like so fluid, and you can kind of, float back with the current, back to different places, but it feels like the current really increases here, and you can't really, it like pushes you, and then it's not really accessible anymore. So be careful of what you deny here. Be careful of what you expel. Expelling, denying, and overcoming has to be cautious here, because those things, those objects which take that action, are not replaceable anymore. So you're walking away from something quite undeniably. 8 of Cups. With Death reversed, I just got chills. With Death reversed also as your central theme, it's like you might have to accept that something is gone. You might have to, like, someone has done you terrible. Like, Pisces is one of the most forgiving signs of the zodiac. Someone's done something bad to you, perhaps, and you might have to finally be like, okay, I can't continue letting them back in. They're gone now. But that goes both ways too. Like, because sometimes Pisces can be a bit wishy-washy. You know how y'all are. I've known many Pisces can be a bit wishy-washy with who they like and what they want. And there can be like, well, I do like this person, but they're so available and so easy for me that it's not quite as fulfilling maybe as really, reaching towards someone who doesn't want to be with me that much because I have to work really hard for them. Watch out for that, because it's like both parties can become inaccessible now because of not being able to take what is so easily given. It's a bit of tough love, Pisces, but please allow yourself to take what is easily given to you this time, rather than pushing that aside and reaching for something which is unattainable, losing both things, and having only a very empty shell to work with on account of this. Hugs. Tough love and hugs. I'm hugging you all, and I'm energetically here and saying this because I do feel that it's important to think about and realize. Let's look at the positive side of this. For those of you who have had like a difficult disease, an endocrine problem, some kind of like hormonal issue, you start to treat yourself, you start to work on it, even cancer or something, you put in that action, you allow the universe's benevolence to come in, and it's gone for good. and it doesn't come back. These are the positives of this energy. Or someone who has been like tormenting you for a long time, someone who won't leave you alone, even like stalkers. You know, you put a plan into action, you make your position known, and it stops, never to happen again. These are where this energy can really, really benefit you. But I did feel that I needed to emphasize the sides of it that aren't so beneficial to you if you're not careful. But do just think clearly in September what needs to go and what needs to stay. Really make that clear for yourself, because you have so much power, especially to get rid of things if you want. So keep that in mind. As I do feel you walking away from something, you know, Eight of Cups, Death reversed. It's been put off for a while, and now it's time to reestablish what's up and what's happening. And as I was saying, ultimately one of the most powerful, invigorating, and choice possible months of your year. So anyway, Pisces, I've so enjoyed to be here giving this reading for you. Probably the most heavy reading of the month, actually, as everyone else was quite a bit lighter and quite a bit easier to work with, and like not as consequential. I feel the energies aren't as consequential for others, even if they were heavy. So do understand that you are carrying that weight this month of, you know, things really stick here for you, and only really for you, which is a very powerful place to be, but also a responsible place to be as well. Anyway, I hope that you'll get the opportunity to check out your sun, moon, and rising sign if you would like sort of a different tune reading, because there are many positive messages for all of the other signs pretty much coming in. So please subscribe to my channel. Also, if you get the chance, your likes and comments are really helpful in the growth of my channel, as well as helping me to understand what does and doesn't resonate, so I can kind of really tailor these readings to get better and better. Be sure to check out the description box below. I do have some cool links for everyone to check out. I'm on social media. You can also get these readings early and ad-free and help support my channel. And I have some affiliate links as well, including like a 30-day free trial to Amazon Prime Video, which is really nice of Amazon to give to me, which is another way to, in a free capacity, support my channel if this reading was good for you. Anyway, Pisces, thank you so much for being here and being around. I will be speaking to you soon. Much love. Bye.